Right now, somewhere in your pocket or on the table beside you, a small black rectangle is waiting. You haven't touched it in 11 minutes. That feels like a long time. Your hand is already moving toward it. You tell yourself you're checking the time. You're not. The real answer is far stranger than a habit, and it has nothing to do with the phone itself. Your brain wasn't built for notifications. It was built for something much older. For most of human history, there were no screens. There was no scrolling. There was only the forest, the plain, the cave mouth, and the constant low-grade question every human carried, is something out there watching me? That question never fully switched off. It still hasn't. Anthropologist Sarah Blaffer-Hrdy spent decades studying what she calls alloparenting, the cooperative web of attention early humans depended on to survive. Infants who were watched by many eyes lived. Infants who weren't often didn't. Hrdy's research suggests that the human nervous system evolved inside a web of constant social monitoring. You were never meant to be alone with your thoughts for long. Someone was always supposed to be checking on you, and you were always supposed to be checking on them. That's the itch. That's the 11 minutes. Your phone didn't invent this. It found a 200,000-year-old wire already running through your skull and plugged straight into it. Think about what a notification actually does to your body. A small vibration. A flash of light. Your pupils dilate slightly. Your heart rate ticks up by a few beats. This is not a calm reaction to a calm event. This is the same circuitry that once fired when a branch snapped behind you in the dark. Your body cannot tell the difference between a text from your cousin and a possible predator. It only knows. Something changed in the environment, and changes in the environment used to mean survival or death. Psychologist B.F. Skinner discovered something unsettling in the 1950s, using nothing more than pigeons and a box. He found that animals don't respond most strongly to rewards that come every single time. They respond most strongly to rewards that come sometimes, unpredictably. Skinner called this a variable ratio reinforcement schedule, and it remains to this day the most powerful behavioral hook ever documented in a laboratory. A pigeon that gets food every time it pecks a lever will peck it occasionally. A pigeon that gets food only sometimes, on no fixed pattern, will peck that lever obsessively even after the food stops coming entirely. Your phone is that lever. Most of the time you unlock it, there's nothing. A blank feed, an empty inbox. But sometimes there's a message that matters. A like from someone you wanted to notice you. News you've been waiting for. You can never predict which time it will be, so you keep pulling. 60, 80, 100 times a day? The average person checks their phone, not because each check is rewarding, but because any check might be.
Here's the part that should unsettle you a little more. Your ancestors lived in groups of roughly 150 people. This number isn't random. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar calculated it by comparing primate brain size to typical group size across dozens of species and found a consistent ratio. The human neocortex, he argued, can only comfortably track relationships, hierarchies, and social debts for about 150 individuals before the social bookkeeping becomes too much. That number is now called Dunbar's number, and for nearly all of human history, it was also roughly the size of your entire world. You knew everyone. Everyone knew you. Status, gossip, danger, alliance, betrayal, all of it played out inside that single tight circle of 150 faces. Now look at your phone again. It doesn't show you 150 people. It shows you thousands. Strangers' opinions, strangers' faces, strangers' outrage, displayed with the same visual weight your brain once reserved for an actual member of your tribe walking toward you with bad news. Your ancient social tracking system, the one built for 150 relationships, is now trying to process input from millions. It was never built for this volume. No wonder it feels exhausting. No wonder it feels somehow impossible to put down. You check your phone not because you're weak. you check it. Because the system inside you that kept your ancestors alive is doing exactly what it was designed to do. It is scanning for threats. It is scanning for opportunities. It is scanning for your place in the group. It simply doesn't know the group is no longer real, no longer 150, no longer the size a human mind was built to hold. There's a deeper layer underneath this one, and it has to do with silence. For nearly the entirety of human existence, true silence, true aloneness, was rare and often dangerous. A human cut off from the group with no one checking on them and no one to check on was a human in real physical danger. Isolation meant no one to warn you, no one to help you hunt, no one to notice if you didn't come back. The body responded to this danger the same way it responds to hunger or cold. It produced discomfort, restlessness, a pulling, anxious sensation that pushed you back toward the group, back toward connection, back toward being seen. That sensation didn't disappear when villages became cities, and cities became apartments with locked doors. It's still there, and when you sit in a quiet room without your phone, what surfaces isn't boredom. It's something closer to that ancient alarm. Am I forgotten? Has the group moved on without me? Your thumb reaches for the screen before your conscious mind even finishes the thought, because some far older part of you has already decided this needs to be checked. Right now. Researcher Adam Alter has spent years studying what he calls behavioral addiction, the pull of products engineered, sometimes deliberately, around exactly this ancient wiring. Alter's work points to a sobering detail. The people who built many of these platforms understood Skinner's pigeons better than most psychologists did. They didn't have to invent a new kind of human craving. They only had to find the oldest one already sitting there and build a smoother lever for it. So when the urge hits, when 11 minutes feels unbearable, you're not failing at self-control. You're listening to an alarm system built for a world that no longer exists. A world where checking on the group meant survival, where being watched meant safety, where 150 faces were the entire universe, and silence was something to fear, not something to enjoy. Knowing this doesn't switch the wiring off, but it does change what the urge means. The next time your hand drifts toward the screen for no real reason, you can notice it for what it actually is, not a flaw in you. A 300,000-year-old habit, wearing a very modern disguise. Tonight, when you put the phone down and the room goes quiet, you'll probably feel that old itch return within a few minutes. That feeling has a name now. It isn't boredom. It's an ancestor, still standing watch at the edge of the firelight, still asking the only question that ever mattered to your kind. Is someone out there? And are they thinking of me? Somewhere in your pocket or on the table beside you, a small black rectangle is still waiting. Now you know exactly why you are too.